Good morning, 7th grade. All right, as you can tell, I'm going to be doing everything in my classroom this year, different than what I said, so there'll be no videos of my house being decorated, but I'll just tell you about it. So far, no decorating has gone on. All right, for some of you, this is day one of LMS with me. You maybe have already looked at the Bible stuff that I posted. This is your history video that I am making. I have decided that instead of focusing on all the things that are driving me crazy, for the beginning of every class, I am going to focus on something that I am thankful for and share that with you. And maybe you all can, I would love to hear posts on the classroom wall about what you're thankful for so that we can focus on things we can be thankful for instead of what we're frustrated about. One thing I am thankful for is my father-in-law got a deer, but he won't use the meat, so we get the meat. And my husband got a deer, so we're up to 2 deers. Lots of deer meat in my freezer. So I'm going to be thankful for that instead of focusing on my frustrations. Because I knew this was coming, the end of the week was a little bit different than it would have been. When we finished reading 13.2, we should have made a quiz study guide. I didn't because I knew we were going to be doing things weird. So here's how this is going to go. You have quiz 14, which is over sections 13.1, 13.2. That's what we read last week. It is an open book quiz. I will give you a picture of the quiz, just like I showed you in class with the Simple Solutions quizzes, and then you'll answer it on LMS as an LMS quiz. It is open book. We're not going to do the make a quiz study guide and then the next day take a quiz while we're on LMS. It will be open book. Just like I told you the Simple Solutions quiz will be. So you'll do that today. Like I told you, my plans all along was for you to do 1 or 2 Simple Solutions lessons in class today and then do 1 for homework. There is no distinction now between classwork and homework. So you'll do 2 Simple Solutions lessons today, and you'll do this quiz. Once you've done the 2 lessons, then you will check them on our system here that you're actually doing the 2 Simple Solutions lessons before checking them. That's the way you learn best. Do them, try to do them, make some mistakes, and then learn from the mistakes. And then after that, read... 13.3 is pretty short, so you'll read 13.3. Remember, classes are usually 45 minutes long, and then you have at least a Simple Solutions lesson for homework, maybe a quiz. So that's, 10, 15 minutes of homework, depending on how long it takes you to study for a quiz, how long it takes you to do a Simple Solutions lesson. So, you should be spending 30 minutes to an hour on history, depending on how fast you work and stuff. So last week we had talked about the guys that were the forerunners before the actual Protestant Reformation who said, hey, the Catholic Church has got things kind of whacked out here, got them distorted. Talked about the printing press and Johann Gutenberg creating the printing press. I said that's one of the few dates that I'm going to require you to memorize, is that the printing press was created in 1456. It's important to know that because that means the printing press came out right at the end of the Dark Ages, right before we're going into the Protestant Reformation. The Protestant Reformation would not have had as much influence if we didn't have the printing press. So it's important you got those dates straight in your head and figure out how the printing press really affected the Protestant Reformation. Then we talked about Erasmus and about how Erasmus is the dude who took the scripture back to the original Greek, which got rid of some of the translation errors that there would have been in the Latin, which means that now we could translate from Greek to Spanish or Greek to English. So we're not going Greek to Latin to English, doubling the translation errors. And then we started talking about Martin Luther, who never wanted to start a Protestant Reformation. He just was stating 95 things that he thought was wrong with the church. At one point in his life, as we read, he flat out said, I hate God, because he thought God was out to get him. He thought that there was no way he was ever going to please God, because he was under the influence of the Catholic Church and their whole system that they had set up, which was all about works, not about what grace really is. And he's like, there's no way I can ever work my way to heaven. There's no way I can ever be good enough. Well, he was right. That's why the Bible tells us that we are saved through grace by faith. I think I got that switch, but you know what I mean. Not by works. That's the work system is not the biblical. And then we went on and barely started 13.3. Pope Leo X gets the copy of the theses. He charges Luther with heresy and contempt. He has a meeting. He's supposed to come to a meeting at Augsburg. Luther appealed to Frederick the Wise, the prince of Luther's part of Germany. Frederick decided that Luther should have a hearing on German soil. So they had this meeting, which is called a diet. I know it's weird. When you think diet, you think not eating. In this case, though, a diet is an assembly of princes and high church officials. So they're having this meeting, which is called a diet, and all of its weirdness. I get it. It's strange. Fortunately for Luther, the Diet of Augsburg didn't like the Pope. So because there was already this tension between this German official and the Pope, Luther's going to be saved. So that's what you're going to go on and read as you read through. 13.3, July 1519, Luther debated John Eck. This debate forced Luther to clarify his views on the Roman Church and the papacy, the Pope. He said neither the church nor the church councils are infallible. Everybody makes mistakes. Humans make mistakes. I'm sure, though, the Pope did not want to hear that. It's true, but I'm sure he didn't want to hear it. The Church of Rome is not over all the other churches. Once again, not what they want to hear, not wanting to have power taken from them. And the Bible is the only authority for Christians. Not all these other things that popes and stuff had written. Like I said, I want you to read all of 13.3. I'm kind of pointing out a couple of things. Luther was just rediscovering true Christianity, that justification is by faith. We're saved by our faith. Priesthood of all believers. Bible makes it clear that we can't all be priests in the fact that we can all share the good news, which is what we should all be doing. Then we end up with the Edict of Worms. Remember, it's not worms, because in German, the W is a V, so it's the Edict of Worms. And you'll go on through and, like I said, finish reading 13.3. Also notice the picture on page 142, the picture of the Christmas tree. Like we talked about, the reason why they have a picture of a Christmas tree stuck there is because it's believed that Martin Luther is the one that came up with putting lights on the Christmas tree. Also, take some time and really pay attention on page 41-43 about the changes that Martin Luther created as far as the church is concerned. That will be your essay on your next test. So just kind of a heads up about that. I usually only make one video a day. It's just too hard to make 5 videos, and I'm not like Miss Barnett, who needs to show you something different for every math lesson. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to continue and read about the Reformation and some other dudes of the Reformation, like Ulrich Zwingli, who I just love saying his name, and the Anabaptists and John Knox and some of those other dudes. So on Tuesday you'll finish reading chapter 13. Tomorrow you'll have 2 more simple solutions, and you'll have an open book simple solutions quiz. And so that's this first 2 days of history. So I will see you again on Monday. Not doing another video, like I said, until next Monday. So have a very happy Thanksgiving. I will be missing you all as I'm enjoying my pecan pie and apple pie. We don't do the traditional pumpkin pie. We prefer pecan pies and apple pies. So see you next week. Bye.